Chapter 1. Act 2. My warm, weightless world came splashing down around me. I couldn't breathe. Fluid clogged my lungs. I rolled onto my side, coughing and gagging in desperation. Warm liquid poured from my mouth. My chest burned from lack of oxygen. My lungs expanded in a miraculous, gasping first breath. I coughed up a final round of liquid before flopping onto my back in exhaustion. My new world was dark and quiet. All I could feel was a pliant, rubbery surface cradling me. All I could hear was my own ragged breath. My world expanded with a sudden pop into new sounds, electronic beeping, mechanical hissing, and distant murmuring. I tried opening my eyes, but my eyelids were coated in a thick, sticky substance. With a determined effort, I pried open one gummy eyelid only to clench it back down against an onslaught of blinding light. I shivered as something sprayed my bare skin. I slowly pried open my eyes again, just in time to see a clear liquid raining down on me. I shuddered and buried my face protectively in my shoulder. But as the mysterious liquid ran across my lips, I realized it was only water. Warm, soothing water, in fact. My body relaxed into the water's warmth. A small sigh of contentment escaped my throat as I reveled in the shower's cleansing massage. Then, ouch! Without warning, something sharp pricked my left heel. I let out a weak moan of protest and raised my head to look at my surroundings. I appeared to be enveloped in a cloud of swirling white steam. Was something wrong with my eyes? I squinted and blinked into the cloud. The steam cleared as a gust of hot air replaced the shower. A shadow lowered toward me. I instinctively curled myself into a tight defensive ball. I shuddered as something draped over me. I relaxed as I registered the object's soft warmth. I opened my eyes to find myself enveloped in a harmless yellow fleece blanket. I uncurled my body and sat up, clutching the blanket to my chest. My vision was still blurry, but I could make out two human figures through the last tendrils of steam. They were both women. The taller one handed the shorter one a clipboard. "Congratulations, Miss Starp," came a voice through the fog. "She's a healthy, well-formed specimen. There's a faint discoloration over her left pectoralis major, but benign entrance marks are common. Once she's cleaned up, you'll be clear for release."
"Panoosh! She's big!"
the other woman exclaimed. "Are you sure she belongs to me and not to the giant in room 12? "Yes, I'm sure," the first woman said in her clipped, efficient tone. "She's in the 99th percentile for height, but only the 72nd percentile for weight. Her blood work looks good. The radio EEG shows normal brain activity, and her organs are functioning properly. The VR rep will be here in a few minutes to collect the paperwork. I have another entrance scheduled next door, so I'll leave you two to get acquainted." Dizziness overcame me. I sank back down onto my rubbery mesh cot. I hugged my blanket tighter to my chest and tried to remember something, anything that would help me understand my current surroundings.
"Hey, kid, you can talk, right?"
It took me a second to realize the voice was addressing me. I blinked and raised my head. It occurred to me I didn't know if I could talk. I'd never tried. I opened my mouth and took in a breath. "I guess so," I croaked out. My throat felt raw and torn. Did talking always hurt?
"Oh, good,"
the voice continued sardonically.
"At least you've got that going for you."
I vaguely registered I was being insulted, but I was too disoriented to care. I managed to turn my head toward the voice. After a few blinks, I made out the shape of the shorter woman settling onto a stool next to my cot. She had puffy hair, heavy eyeshadow, and pouty lips. Her long, white-tipped fingernails tapped an impatient rhythm on the clipboard she was studying.
"Water?"
I rasped hopefully. My throat was bone dry. I wondered if it was possible for a tongue to shrivel up and die from dehydration. Yeah, in a minute. The woman waved distractedly. Just let me finish this paperwork first. What do you think of the name Emily? I had a cat named Emily once, and I've heard it's making a comeback for newbies this year. I started again, but the woman rushed on. Well, on second thought, maybe Emily's too cutesy for you. I had no idea girls could be this big. I blinked up at her with complete lack of comprehension. She sighed and glanced down at me. What the heck, you can change it later if you want to. Emily's a great name, and it goes so well with Starp. Yep, Emily Starp. That's you. She scribbled down the name and set the clipboard on my bedside table. Okay, kid, she said, clasping her hands together. Water, was it? I nodded. She turned her head toward the open door and yelled, Hey, nurse, we need some H2O, pronto! I winced at the noise, but her yell had the desired effect. Within seconds, the puffy-haired woman held a straw toward my lips. I sucked in the soothing liquid like it was my sole purpose in life. It felt so good on my sore throat. I drank and drank until my chest tightened painfully. I'd forgotten to breathe. My body reacted with more violent coughing. Okay, that's enough. The woman pulled the cup away from me. There's plenty more where that came from. Don't drown yourself. I wiped a hand across my face and stared up at her. I should have thanked her for the water, but instead I asked, Who are you? Oh, right. We still need introductions. She extended a perfectly manicured hand. The name's Veronica Isabella Carmelita Starp, Ronnie for short. I'm your host. That means I've got 18 weeks to form this. She gestured grandly from my head to my toes. Into a good contributing member of society. First things first, if you want to fit in, you'll have to put on some clothes.